Such an exciting show today. We are talking healthy scalp, healthy hair, healthy everything. I have got the gurus. HydraFacial Keravive is on the show today. Beth, I am so excited that you're here. Thank you so much for being on the show. I cannot wait to just dive into learning all about having a healthy scalp today.
Absolutely. And I'm honored to be here and excited as well to talk to you and everyone about this amazing new category. And let's
Yes.
get started.
Yeah. Oh, just a little bit. What is your role with HydraFacial, just to let the audience know?
Sure, absolutely. I am the training and education manager specifically for scalp health and hair health. So it's wonderful that we have this unique category, and I have the fortunate opportunity to help educate hydrofacialists and everyone actually on the category of scalp health and hair health and the direct connection between the two.
Yes. Your hair looks amazing, by the way.
Thanks. So did yours. Yours looks
Oh, thank
gorgeous.
you.
Lovely hair.
Thank you. I was like, okay, we're doing a show on hair. I've got to make it look, pretty good today.
Exactly. Exactly.
um, I do want to I want to talk to both people learning about HydraFacial Keravive, but I also want to briefly talk to spa owners and estheticians out there just for a moment. I want to tell you ladies, for the spa owners and estheticians, this is so exciting because especially now through what we're going through, everyone who has a HydraFacial machine, it is so incredible. We've all seen such amazing results with the skin. Our clients are just so thrilled. I personally have had amazing results in my spa, even financially, through HydraFacial. So it's both skin health and even helps me as a business owner. And to be able to still use the same machine, and we're going up from the face into the scalp. It's so exciting, like healthy skin and now healthy scalp. I'm super excited. I started using this treatment on myself, and I'll just let you know, I was getting a little bit itchy right here. It's the winter time right now, and this is the perfect time that I added the service into my spa. And as soon as I even remotely started talking about it, I had so many DMs. People were so interested, like, oh, sign me up for that. What is that? And so thought, well, we're going to do a podcast on it. Everybody's going to know about it. How to get that scalp healthy.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
let's just jump in and just tell the audience, what is HydraFacial Keravive exactly?
Absolutely. So HydraFacial Keravive is unique, and it's one of the first of its kind in this category that we are using the tried and true amazing HydraFacial system and the HydraFacial Keravive peptide complex. And I like to call it a 1-2 punch because we have this amazing system where, and we'll go over the steps as well, but we're using that to deeply cleanse and exfoliate and dislodge all the products left on the scalp. And then we're using this incredibly beautifully designed Keravive peptide complex to fuse back into the scalp to give you that perfect environment for the most healthy scalp that gives you healthier, fuller looking hair. There's a direct connection between the two, as I was saying. So it's a perfect combination. And Lindsey, I love what you were saying about to the estheticians out there. This is a wonderful time for this kind of a category because during the times we're in with COVID and things like that, the hydrofacialist can wear the mask and so can the client. So it's a perfect kind of symbiotic relationship there, and it's helpful to you as a provider and to your client as well. And the hydrofacial system is beautifully designed because it has disposable tips and a closed loop
Yes,
system, right?
yes. So important for people to know that. Like the tips are not reused, they're disposables per client. And then the loop system. Tell them what a loop
Right.
system is. They may not know what that means.
Well, Lindsay, it's the tubing portion of the system where it attaches to the handpiece and then to your amazing gunky jar,
Yeah.
so that there's right
Yeah.
that amazing gunky we get from the scalp, so that when the solutions and all the dead skin cells and the gunk comes off, it's going just one directional. So there's no ability for kind of cross contamination or for it to flow back. So that's kind of
Yeah.
that closed loop continuous system.
Perfect. And for those who do not know what the gunky jar is, oh my gosh, what it is, basically it's the jar in the back of the machine. And when you're done with your treatment, you can show your client all the junk and stuff that came out. And whoa, when I did the the Keravive, the HydraFacial Keravive treatment, oh my gosh, it was a little embarrassing. I will say, like my jar was filled, and my tip was like,
Oh, yeah.
I have,
Oh,
yeah.
yeah. I love
did.
that.
Oh, it was so gross. I did a TikTok on it, and it went like viral. I was like,
Right?
okay, people are into this.
It's amazing. We have some people that and the before and after and the gunky videos pour in unsolicited. People are like,
Oh,
you
yeah.
won't believe what came off of my scalp. And one of the gals who did the treatment, she affectionately called it the snow globe. So now
Oh,
gunky from the scalp is known as the snow globe because if you think the gunky from the face or the décolleté and those areas is amazing, the scalp gunky
oh my
will
gosh.
blow your mind. And it's no wonder we don't have healthy hair because all of that is lodged and compacted on the scalp so you don't give your opportunity to that follicle to be healthy, right? It makes perfect sense.
I'm so glad you said that. I think, yeah, this and the next question leading into that is, okay, what exactly is HydraFacial Keravive? Like, what is that product? And then how exactly is it making the hair become more healthy and the
Right.
scalp more
Right.
healthy? What is it
Right.
exactly?
So the beautiful thing about the design of the Keravive peptide complex is that we use, and our creators and the compounders, the people that created the product,
Yeah.
they designed this complex that's not only perfectly concentrated with proprietary biomimetic peptides and skin proteins to mimic exactly what we're deficient in. So it's this perfect design and perfectly created to give your follicle what is deficient in, right? So it's 7 polypeptides and we're using biomimetic growth factors. And biomimetic means it's mimicking exactly what the growth factor does, but we're using it as biomimetic or bioidentical.
That's amazing. And just to kind of go over the process, it makes perfect sense for you be able to handle that. You need to remove the dead skin because it's getting in the way. If it's not blocking that follicle, you're not going to be able to get the nutrients.
Exactly. I love that. And that's so important and it's such an aha moment for so many people because we assume, okay, I'll just go shampoo my hair in the shower and it's clean. But it is amazing. And you know, as an esthetician, because you've seen on your own scalp, you probably do a pretty good job of shampooing your hair, right?
Yeah,
And
right.
so you're assuming that. But the fact is, mere shampooing alone cannot get all of that oil, dry shampoos, chemical buildup, dead skin cells, oily, dry flakes, everything. It just can't do it. And you know, you said something about the tip that's amazing, but not only will you see it in the gunky jar, but another aha moment is in that tip. When you look at the tip, it is incredible what's encrusted
Oh
there.
yeah,
And
it's nasty. Like it's got all that stuff in there.
it
And
is.
and I will say, some people probably don't know this, but one of the steps is using the beta clarity. So for those people who think, oh, I'll just shampoo my hair, it doesn't work like that. This beta clarity is a solution that is going to dissolve that. Is a combination of the glycolic and the salicylic acid to really dissolve everything and clear the way for that clean, healthy scalp. So I just wanted
Love
to
it.
point that out because
Love it.
somebody just asked me, oh, I'll just, who was a TikTok person? Oh, I'll just clean it, I'll just scrub it better. I'm like, nope, sorry, it doesn't work that
No.
way.
And
This is
speaking of the
a lot.
analogy, do you think that just okay, I'll just take some regular soap and wash my face.
Oh yeah.
And then, right? That analogy? Okay, then get a hydrofacial treatment
Oh
and
yeah.
it's a game changer. You're like, oh yeah, I can see the difference. It's the same analogy with shampooing your hair or using hydrofacial Keravive. Same thing.
Great analogy. I love that. So, for those who aren't familiar, so this has actually been something that HydraFacial has been working on with the man who created it. I'll let you go into that. I
Okay.
mean, it's been what, 4 years of a process to get this going?
Pretty darn close,
Pretty-
Lindsay. It has been under research and development for 6 years.
Oh,
So,
six
James,
years.
right,
Wow.
right. So I love that because there's
Yeah.
so many run-of-the-mill products that just they throw it out there. They're like,
Yeah.
give you great marketing stuff. This works,
Yeah.
that works. They use all this stuff, but they haven't even tried and tested it. This has been through 6 years of trials and research and development with James Bartholomew, who's the CTO for Skin
Yeah.
QRI, and Dr. Amy Taub, who's a board certified dermatologist, and she's amazing. Talk about a
Wow.
guru. The two of them together are this perfect duo that created and designed and developed and tested and all of the marketing trials they tested for this HydraFacial Keravive peptide complex.
Oh my gosh. For those listening on the podcast, jump to the YouTube right now. We're going to insert some before and after pictures, and you're going to be you're going to be blown away, and B, you're going to book your appointment. Because the
Absolutely.
before and after pictures,
Tell me.
Beth, let me tell you,
Tell me.
I was I just was going through my email, and I got the email announcing it, and I just saw these before and after pictures, and I immediately called my rep because for me, COVID, I got obviously a little stressed as a business owner. And I even went to my doctor because I was losing a little patch right here. And he said he's seeing more of that because of the stress of COVID. And it wasn't stress with your hair. You don't just lose it automatically. It takes months. And he said, this has been months in the making. And so now we have to really focus on that hair health. So when I saw the before and after, I called her. I said, "What is this? How do I get trained? We're bringing
Love
this
it.
in." And
Love
I
it.
immediately, and I use my spray every night. It's
Good for
so
you.
easy to do.
That's so
I mean,
important.
yeah, yeah, definitely. It's so easy to do also.
Lindsay, I love what you're saying on a couple different levels. You're saying that there's stress that
Yeah,
causes hair loss.
yeah,
Yes. But guess
yes.
what else? If you
Yeah.
unfortunately get COVID, there's an inflammatory process that happens that causes additional hair loss. So you stress out
Oh,
worrying about getting it, and then just there's stress that happens when you get it that causes really unhealthy hair. So it's wonderful
yeah.
that you that incentivized you to go, let me look at this and really look at this device and look at this system and look at the HydraFacial Keravive peptide complex. And another amazing thing, not only is it the first of its kind in this category, it's pain free. It feels amazing.
Good.
Your skin is thinner on your scalp than anywhere on your body, so you have more nerve endings exposed, so it feels amazing and relaxing to get it. So there's this wonderful kind of experience that you're getting with using it as well.
You're 100% right. It's this cool feeling. And so when you get it in a spa, you're just laying down for, it takes us almost 45 minutes to an hour. So it's like, and you get a scalp at the very end, and we rub it into the
Yes,
scalp
yes,
massage.
yes.
Nobody is complaining about that.
Nope,
And it's this
definitely
nice,
not.
cool feeling. Yeah, it's actually really relaxing. So I agree 100%. Yeah, I'm surprised I didn't lose more than I did during COVID, but I
Yeah,
thought, no, ma'am, we're getting this
right.
under control right now. This is not.
Exactly.
I'm taking care of this right now. Uh,
Exactly.
exactly. So let's talk about. Okay, so somebody's interested. They're coming to get it. When should they expect to see the results, and like what does the treatment consist
Mhm.
of? How much maintenance do they need to
Okay.
do?
So
Okay.
using the HydraFacial Keravive system, you talked about the beta HD, which is step
Right.
one. So you're
Yep.
using that with the salicylic acid, and that's using the handpiece that has the vortex technology, the suction, the hydrodermabrasion. So using the beta HD, step one, you do 2 passes with that.
Mm-hmm.
Then you're using the HydraFacial Keravive peptide complex to fuse back in those biomimetic peptides into the scalp, right? Then
Right.
you end it with a massage that's amazing. And guess what else that we forgot to talk about?
What?
That massaging and that blood flow is key That is a key factor in all of this. So that's
Okay.
one of the most important things is that circulation. So don't forget that. And so then your take home spray you're using, and that's massively important to use that because it has vasodilating compounds in it. So we call that our step 3 of it. So HydraFacial traditional is 3 steps, right? And 3
Yep.
steps, usually 30 minutes. So
Right.
HydraFacial Keravive is also 3 steps, but the difference is you've got step 1 with the beta, step 2 with the peptide complex, and step 3 is your take home spray because we're extending and enhancing what it does in your office visit, right? And it's
Right.
massively important to use that take home spray. As you know, it's almost
Yeah.
kind of like microdosing and giving yourself your scalp exactly what it needs on a continual basis, feeding and nourishing the scalp. You can use it twice a day, morning and night if you want as well. And you're saying, I think you asked, how quickly will you see the results? Now, that's kind
Right.
of a loaded question, right?
Yeah.
So we're all different, right? We different things affect us, our DNA, our stress, our diet. You know, there's a whole holistic approach that happens with us as human beings, right? And your
Right.
lifestyle, everything you're doing, exposing yourself to sun and things like that. So the best piece of kind of a solid answer, if I can give you one, is best results are at using it for 3 months.
Mm-hmm.
One time you're in office, and then every night, and maybe morning and night, your take home spray. So 90 days is what was studied and researched with Dr. Amy Taub. And you were talking about,
Okay.
you alluded to those studies that, or the before and afters, the market
Yeah.
study. Yeah, those were so amazing. Those photographs is one is from a male, and the hardest area to have healthy hair is that crown, right? And one of the pictures you'll see is that crown area. And then the female kind of had diffuse thinning everywhere.
I saw.
And
Yes. Oh,
right? I know.
yes. Yeah.
So the great thing is that they used the product for 3 months, and that
Mm.
after picture was at 4 months post. So 1 month after, right?
Wow.
Right?
Okay, let's pop those pictures back up
Okay.
again so we can see this. So let's put them up right now.
Okay. Yeah. Pop the pictures up. And
Pop the
so
pictures
you
up.
so that gives you an idea. And my best kind of reply to that is check out every before and after you can find on social media, on Instagram. People willingly just pour these pictures in because they're blown away. They're
Oh yeah.
unsolicited. And you'll see some results from one treatment with that dry flakes, right? You'll
Right.
see an incredible before and after from immediate, right, in the same treatment. Then you'll see some that are 2 weeks. You can see a little improvement. Then some
Yeah.
that are a month, but best results are 90 days because
90
of the
days.
way that the hair cycles, right? And so
Yeah.
a lot of studies and information is done even at a 6 month completion date. But you can see results. I've heard people say they see less shedding in their shower within the first month. But it's all going to be different,
Oh,
right?
I
And
didn't
that
even
was
think about that.
right.
Yeah.
You can
Okay.
lose up to 100 hairs a day. And so that's normal, although it seems like a lot if you have long hair like you and I. But when you'll notice when you're starting to see a lot more shedding. So what they've noticed is less shedding, which is
I
wonderful.
have noticed less shedding. I honestly did not correlate it at all.
Yeah.
So when you just said that, I was like, ding ding. Oh my gosh, you were completely
Yeah.
right. That has
Yeah.
personally happened to me.
Yeah. Me
Listen, I
too.
just want to let people know I don't offer anything or talk about anything that I don't use myself or believe in. I'm just
Me
not that
too.
kind of person. It's
Me
here,
too.
recorded, there we go. I would not have
Agree.
brought it into my spot if it didn't work, if I didn't believe in it. So just by you even saying that, and I didn't even know that, I have noticed a difference, a big difference. So that is very interesting that you just said that. So thank you.
Wonderful.
Um, okay, so for the person who has, okay, they're seeing amazing results. It's been 3 months. They have the take home product, and they're where they want to be with their hair. Like, what happens next? Do
Mhm.
they? How long is this going to last for them? Is it like a year? Is it is permanent, or when do
Mhm.
they? What's the maintenance on it on this
Good
treatment?
question. Never permanent. Nothing is anymore.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So,
It's like your
um,
skin.
Yeah,
Gotta
exactly.
keep it
It's
up.
the same. Exactly. So it's always a cumulative process, right? It'd be great
Right.
if we could just work out one time and have
Yeah.
a perfect body forever, right? But same kind of idea. It's cumulative, and you need to get that baseline of 3 months in, three in office, and then the take home spray. Get that baseline in.
Get that.
You can see that after that fourth month, so a month following, there was still
Okay.
great results, right?
Right.
But I would recommend they can either continue doing the treatment again for another 3 months to give you that 6 month protocol that I talked about, remember? And
Right.
then just use daily use of their take home spray for the next six
Okay.
months. Kind of like that. That's why before and after pictures are imperative so you can see what's happening and any degradation or anything like that. Because again, everyone's going to maintain it different because of lifestyle. And that's kind of the best answer I can give you as far as following a 3 month, a 6 months. But it's like your take home spray is like are like your products you use on your face daily to nourish your skin, right? Right? Makes sense. So
Exactly.
same kind of idea for the take home spray after you've completed your in office treatments.
I love the before and after pictures. It's the same thing. Let's say you have something with your skin that you need to combat. You need the before and after pictures to make sure you know it's working. Same thing. Like even like I'll tell people who want to grow their lashes. I'm like, hey, take a before and after picture. You can see that it's
Exactly.
you're going to be blown away. Same thing with your hair. Before
Absolutely.
and after shows it all. And even if you see like a little bit, you're like, oh, well, keep on doing it.
Yes. Absolutely.
That's okay. So I know that a lot of people have different questions on what they can combine this with, different
Sure.
things. So I'm just going to ask you several questions about this.
Sure.
Does this help people with dandruff and seborrheic? I can never say that right.
So you said it right.
Se-
Dermatitis.
Seborrheic dermatitis.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. So we have never tested and done a test with those two conditions, with dandruff or seborrheic dermatitis. But what we say is being able to deeply exfoliate using the salicylic acid and the beta HD, keeping that scalp nourished, will help hydrate that scalp for a healthier environment. And there's no contraindications using it with those conditions or diseases or conditions. So that's again
Okay.
where I go back to check out before and after pictures, what people are putting online to show you, wow, look at the difference in the dry, flaky scalp I have. Look at the difference in the oily scalp and the oily yellow patches on the scalp and the itchy scalp. So it
Yeah.
absolutely gives the most deep, targeted, nourished, hydrated scalp you can ask for in this
Ask for.
1-2 combination.
So why do they need to come in? I notice you need to come in with like freshly
Yes.
washed hair. Why
No,
is that?
no. Great
Don't
question.
think that you're coming in and we're giving you like a fresh blowout.
Exactly. It's a totally different thing, right? Good. That's such a great point, right? And optimally, you're right. You want clean, dry hair, right? Clean, dry scalp. The idea is, think about it. If your scalp is compacted with dry shampoo, one of the worst culprits, or chemicals left from a blowout, keratin blowout treatment, or products you're using in your hair, wax
Mm,
products, leave-in conditioners, masks on your hair, salt scrubs on your hair, chemical color on your scalp, all of those things, right? You're
right.
not giving yourself or your scalp the opportunity to be at an optimal state
Mm.
for those peptides to absorb to the scalp. So you're creating a blocked layer by having a scalp that is not clean. Now, we know that when you're using the take home spray, it's not always practical to have a clean, dry scalp every night. So, what we have recommended is take a gauze square and maybe some toner on the areas that you want to use and the peptide complex on, and just kind of gently wash or scrub the area with that toner, and then let it dry for a minute. Just not a lot. Don't get it wet, really wet, and then use your take home spray because it's not
Great
always
tip.
practical, right?
Great tip.
People don't wash their hair every day.
So when they're using the peptide complex take-home product, are they're just putting it on the area of concern, or do they
Yes.
need to do it all over their
Yes.
hair?
Great question. So typically areas of concern for most people are temples and crown.
Oh
So
yeah.
this whole area right here. The back usually isn't an area of concern. We usually all have full healthy hair back there, right? So typically the area of concern is that area, right? Temples,
Right.
crown, top area. But if you're talking about a scalp condition that's happening all over your head,
Yeah.
then of course you want to use it all over your head. So again,
Okay.
that's still the definition of areas of concern.
Perfect. And I love that tip about just take a little toner and clean it
Yeah,
first. That's such a great tip.
very practical.
So, what ages can you start this on? Like, what age do you have to be? Because I actually had a mom ask me about her daughter, and she said, "What's the earliest age you can start this?" I was like, "I wanted to
Right.
ask you about this." I was like, "Hold that thought."
Great question. And the answer is if they're under 18, their parents need to sign a consent or a waiver because there
Makes sense.
are people under 18 that maybe are having some kind of a breakout. You know, if they have oily skin and they have a breakout in the forehead area, they're maybe having a breakout here. Maybe it's painful. You know, maybe it's itchy, dry, painful. So it can happen when you're under 18. So they
Yeah.
just with the parents' consent, then they can
Okay.
under 18 is fine
And if
with
they're,
the
of
consent.
course, yeah, if their doctor
Yeah,
approves it.
exactly.
Okay, so can you combine this treatment with PRP,
Yes.
laser therapy,
Yes.
hair transplant? Yes, yes, yes.
Yes, 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 yes.
Yes, yes, yes.
And you should. And here's why.
Okay.
Because, first of all, HydraFacial Keravive and HydraFacial is an and company to begin with. We play well with others. We love combination therapy, and we sit beautifully in the center of other modalities, take home products or in office products. So it's a perfect kind of marriage between all of those other products, right?
Right.
So here's the thing with PRP, you're getting a block of the growth factors that are platelet rich plasma, which is drawn from your own blood, right?
Right.
So maybe some of those aren't the perfect combination that you actually need, but it's been a great methodology, right? That's why you should, and we do recommend using HydraFacial Keravive 2 weeks before. So rotate every 2 weeks. HydraFacial Keravive, PRP, every 2 weeks fitting
Okay.
in. And what I love about it is, as I was saying, what may be deficient in the PRP is made up for in our HydraFacial Keravive because of the way the peptide complex was created. Now let's talk about laser therapy. Yes,
Yes.
absolutely. You can use it in combination. And we say the same thing really even with color treated hair, with laser therapy. It's a little different with a hair transplant. I'll talk about that. But really, we're rotating every 2 weeks. And if for people that are more sensitive and reactive to their more invasive treatments, 2 to 4 weeks, depending on what their physician says or practice says. Let's talk about FUE, which is follicular unit extraction hair transplants. You mentioned that.
Okay.
So guess what? This is
What?
amazing to use the HydraFacial Keravive up to your procedure because you are putting that scalp that's about to get surgical treatment in the best optimal shape that it can be to be able to
Receive that.
recover
Yeah.
from this, to receive it, to recover from it. So you should use it up to the HydraFacial Keravive. You can use up to 1 month before your procedure for your transplant. You can continue using the take-home spray up to a couple of days before it, right? But that in-office treatment with Vortex technology and the HydraFacial device, wait a month before your surgical date, right? Then
Okay.
post-op, you can, whenever your hair surgeon tells you you can start shampooing and you can start using your products, you're okay to use the take-home spray. But
Okay.
you would never, on those newly little transplanted follicles, you would never do your in-office treatment again until at least 4 to 6 months post, because they're trying to just thrive and survive and grow. So you don't want anything, right? So that's why we also love that take home spray, because you're nourishing your scalp again. So what a perfect combination. I think it gives you the optimal combination using HydraFacial Keravive with every modality.
And if I had to have a hair transplant, after it was healed, I would want those babies to stay in there. So I would be in my treatment mode all the time.
Exactly, because it's a huge investment. It's the biggest
Oh yeah.
investment. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So
Okay, so for
absolutely.
those who are, on drugs or supplements such as Nutrafol, vitamins, anything like
Mhm,
that, it
mhm.
sounds like it pairs nicely.
Totally. And we pair nicely with supplements. There's no contraindications with Nutrafol supplements, Viviscal, anything like that.
Okay.
Medications, they'll have to look through if there's any contraindications with their medication. So it's medication dependent or specific, right?
Right, right,
But
right.
yeah, yeah.
And
Just
as
like
an
the
esthetician,
HydraFacial for the face. Same thing.
yeah, yeah, estheticians, we know, okay, if they're on blood thinners,
Exactly.
like we know how to,
Exactly.
yeah, that's why it's important to have an esthetician. We know what to look for,
Exactly.
all the different medications.
Game changer. Absolutely.
So for those ladies who still have hair extensions, tape-in extensions, bonded, does this work well with that?
It's one of my
It better because
favorite.
I have a couple in right now.
Right? Yes, that is one of my favorite questions. And that is like the hot topic of the month is hair extensions and HydraFacial Keravive. Because here's what's happening. Maybe you know this. If you just have clip-ins, I don't know which ones you use, but
Well, they're in the back. I literally have like
yeah,
just two,
little
which
clips.
why I did them today, I don't know because you don't even see the back of my hair. But
Right.
like this is on me, but they're just like clip-ins. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Here's why you need to use HydraFacial Keravive with either a clip-in or a woven or glued in, whatever from the most mild to the most intense kind of extension there is. Two things happening is that you're pulling on that little follicle the whole time, whether you're
Mm,
clipping it in, gluing it on, sewing it in, you're creating tension and stress. Okay. So long term tension and stress on that follicle
mm,
is going to cause thinning, permanent thinning. Okay.
okay.
So, also, if you notice around that hair extension, it is crusty, gooey, yucky, and that all of that product and debris is compacted around that follicle. So it's a 1-2 thing inhibiting healthy hair when you have a hair extension. So what I think is when we recommend is definitely get an in-office HydraFacial Keravive treatment
Okay.
with your take-home spray before you get the extensions put in, and definitely the take-home after. It's even
Could you,
more important
could you do
too.
it the same? Could you do it the same day or no? Probably not the same day. Like wait before you get your extensions. Like do it the next day.
I would do the in-office treatment at least a couple days before
Couple days.
your a couple days before your extensions, but
Okay.
then then use the take-home spray. You can use it a day or two after, depending
After.
on what your hairdresser says for your own shampooing. If you're not allowed to get that area wet or things like that because of the glue or the process, wait to use any product until your hairdresser goes, okay, you can start shampooing, then you can start using your take-home spray. And I
Okay.
think it's
Dear
imperative, because, again, you're protecting your hair, you're protecting your investment, using it pre and post.
Dear hairstylist, we are now your best friend because we're going to make your hair extensions. They're going to be like, wow, my hair is like the healthiest it's ever been. And I have hair extensions. This is amazing. Yes. So partner
I
with your
love it.
local esthetician and spa
Love it.
owner. We're going to make your business just soar. So yes.
I love it.
Um, that is so great. I'm trying to go over anything else. Let's see. Everything's pretty good to me. Beth, can you think of anything else that they should know about HydraFacial Keravive? The audience?
Well, I feel like we covered so many categories and some of my favorite categories. There's one last thing that's my favorite new thing to debunk a myth, and not shampooing your hair a lot. I don't know if you've heard about this, but it's like let the natural oils flow.
I
Don't
have.
shampoo your
Yeah.
hair. Have you heard that?
Yes.
So, okay. So, putting two and two together, think about it. If you're not keeping that scalp cleansed of all the dry shampoo is one of the worst things. Wait till you see your gunky jar and with dry shampoo.
Now, I
Um,
didn't know that. When you said that, I have not heard that before. So why I did not know that. The
it's
dry
so
shampoo was.
hard to get off your scalp.
Oh,
And
okay.
it's
Yeah.
sticky and it's compacted and it's unbelievable as far as that. And salt scrub. You think you're doing yourself a great service, you're not getting all the salt out. There, you can do a HydraFacial Keravive treatment that someone's like, oh, I'm doing a great job with my salt scrub. And then look at your tip, it's completely compacted with their salt scrub that they didn't
Oh,
get off their scalp. So back to the debunking the myth thing, depending on the client, depending on what's happening with their scalp, you want to wash the scalp more often than you think you do as far as
okay.
maintenance. It's and I get it, leaving the natural oils on this keratin, this is all dead, your hair, right?
Right,
And it's
right.
dead protein. So if you want to keep this moisturized and not wash this too much, that's fine. But it is imperative to shampoo and wash your scalp more than you think that you
So,
need.
what do you recommend? How many times a week?
Oh, it depends on the person and what they're dealing with. If they have an oily scalp, maybe every other day. If you have a
Okay.
dry scalp, maybe same every other day. And again, remember, just concentrate on the scalp and you can't go wrong. And
Okay.
there was something else that you were talking about as far. Oh, you were asking what shampoos do you recommend? Or you? I think you were wanted
Oh,
to know.
that's a good question.
Okay.
I don't know if I asked that, but yes.
Okay. Okay.
What shampoo would be good? Can they use, um, if you color your hair, most of us do, can they use a color treated
Yes.
shampoo?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Perfect.
Yes, they can use a color treated shampoo. The thing I like to think of with shampoos is just make sure you're using a product that doesn't have like paraben, GMO, lots of fragrance, lots of chemical color, things like that. The
Yeah.
more, kind of on the natural side that still gets you a nice detergent agent to clean that scalp is great. And I would kind of I would steer away from more
Phthalates,
brand.
parabens, stuff like that. Yeah.
Yes, yes,
Of
yes.
course. Yeah.
Of course, like always. So,
And
and then a shampoo that might have an AHA or BHA, that could be good as well.
oh yeah.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of, now that it's a, hair color,
Oh,
you could still
yes.
get your hair colored
Yes.
right in
Yes.
between treatments. It's not going to
Yes.
affect it.
No. And
Okay.
again, you want to rotate your in office 2 weeks from color. It's the number. It's really 2 weeks, usually 2 to 4 weeks for more an invasive procedure and things like
Got
that
it.
as far as rotating.
Perfect. Okay. I am so excited. This has been phenomenal. I'm
So much
so pleased
fun.
with just sharing all this information. Everybody can find, I mean, really, you can find everything. Hashtag HydraFacial, hashtag
Yes. Artificial
HydraFacial
Keravive.
Keravive. And then you can go
Absolutely.
on your website. I mean, you guys,
Yes.
by the way, you guys are all over TikTok, all over Instagram. I never have a hard time finding you guys.
That's great.
You're you're everywhere.
Yeah. That's
So
purposely done so that everyone can have all the information and the education that they ever wanted. So we like
I
that.
tell you, I'll pop up my Instagram, and of course, I follow a ton of other estheticians, but it's always, I mean, it's just, you hear that machine, that suction, that.
I love that sound.
I love it too. Beth, thank you so much. It has been a pleasure.
Same here, Lindsay. Thank you. Absolute joy. And I love talking to you and
Yes.
my pleasure and hope to talk again soon. Have a great
Yes.
day.